Hello, my name's Michael Conneely and we are inside a 5,300-year-old Neolithic tomb. And when this tomb was first excavated about 100 years ago, on these ledges here, ashes of the dead and bones and offerings were discovered. And unfortunately the archaeological techniques only preserved a few of them, but enough. And this is like a Druid forest school tour. But they're not just tours, they're actually visits to the sacred sites in the ancient and beautiful far west of Ireland. And they're not just tours because wherever we go we do vision journeys. We do vision journeys to meet the gods and goddesses of the Tuatha De Danann and to contact the sacred earth energies and see what visions they produce. And the truth is, it was these quartz-rich rocks that drew the island's first farmers 5,500 years ago to this area. Basically, DNA research and analysis of the wheat they brought, and indeed the cattle they brought, reveals they came from Turkey, from the cattle Hayuk area, and so they slowly migrated, creating staging posts along the Mediterranean, through Portugal and Brittany to here. And then of course the journey was much quicker, and they were driven by climate change in their homeland and by overpopulation and by the sheer human urge to go to your horizons. And why here? Well, it's because the rocks are so incredibly quartz energy rich here. And the fact is, if you go to the sites that are off the beaten track, it is amazing the strength of the energies you can feel. So basically, these tombs are aligned to other tombs across a sacred landscape. And indeed, just to the left of us are the famous caves of Kesh, the abode of the three hags. And just to the right of us is the unutterably beautiful Loch Arrow. And on the hilltop, on the far side of Loch Arrow, is the famous battlefield of Moytura, where the Tuatha De Danann, led by god Lu, met the dark and twisted Fomorians, led by Balor of the Evil Eye. And what happened was, Lu killed Balor of the Evil Eye. The Tuatha De Danann were victorious. But they were a magical people, they were a special people. They had learned so much in their wanderings of the Mediterranean and the Atlantic seaboard in terms of magic and craft skills. And they found the sheer effort of defending their new homeland here was contrary to their mystical, magical and craft nature. They simply didn't want to have to keep defending it against much more cloddish invaders. So the story is that they retreated to the hollow hills, the Shees, the fairy mounds, the barrows, of which there are so many round here. You know, there are so many rafts, fairy forts in that area just outside. I can see through the light box. And so 2,500 years ago they retreated to the hollow hills to wait until humanity was ready to hear their message. And the doorway to the hollow hills, the doorway to their message, was opened just over 100 years ago by W.B. Yeats, Lady Gregory, A.E., Ella Young and others. And I feel the vision journeys that the Druid Forest School offers really takes us to the divine light connection, core and nature of each of the Tuatha De Danann gods connects to the way each is a face of the ultimate divine. So it's not grubbing through manuscripts or picking up lists of attributes. It's making vision connection. It's standing before each of these gods once one has learned about the nature and attributes and the particular facet of consciousness that each god deals with. So have a look at the Druid Forest School website. There's courses to meet a large and growing number of the gods and goddesses of the ancient Irish. The Druid mystical energy work, there's a very long established Ogham course, the mystical tree alphabet of the ancient Irish Druids and its connection to the other worlds. And there's a page about these, you could call them sacred tours or tours of the sacred west of Ireland, but we in a sense prefer to call them vision journeys because we come to these exaltedly beautiful spots, unparalleled, and do vision journeys. And in this work I connect to students both Western astrology and Vedic astrology, the astrology of ancient India. And there's so very much additional dimension that can be added to the journey one's going through now, and indeed as part of one's incarnational life purpose. So have a look at the Druid Forest School website. We look forward to seeing you. We look forward to connecting with you on all the courses. And so, from the tombs of Carrowkeel, look forward to seeing you.